Hi, ArcfieldWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here. On Saturday morning, January 4th, we have a major winter storm system to deal with that will impact a wide area from the Central Plains all the way to the Mid-Atlantic region in the time period from Sunday into Monday night, early Tuesday time frame. It will produce a large area of significant snow and also produce a large area of ice, freezing rain, sleet just to the south of that heavy snow band, and all of this will be a big impact on travel with the potential of some power outages in those areas that receive the freezing rain. We could see a quarter-inch of accumulating ice on trees, for example, in the middle Mississippi Valley region. Unfortunately, that can lead to some power outages. We have evolved into a cold and active weather pattern that looks like it'll stick around for the next few weeks, maybe even into the month of February. We've talked at length about teleconnection indices falling into place for a cold and active weather pattern in the month of January, and a stratospheric warming event can really help to prolong or help to sustain this cold pattern even into the month of February. We've also talked, by the way, about the possibility of some snow way down in the deep south here, and we'll talk a little bit about a late week storm threat as well. We're talking Friday, Saturday time frame, January 10th, January 11th, that could produce some snow way down into the deep south, and ultimately that could produce another storm threat for the Mid-Atlantic region late next week or early next weekend. Well, here's the total snowfall forecast map from the 0Z run of the GFS, and this path here of significant snow that extends from the Central Plains to the Mid-Atlantic region is really the result of this initial storm system, this Sunday, Monday, Tuesday storm system. All along the way, there can be a foot or more of snow from the Central Plains to the Ohio Valley, and then some significant snow as well in the Mid-Atlantic region late Sunday night into the day on Monday. Now, this second swath here of snow is from the storm potential late in the week into the early part of the weekend, and again, that could result in some snow all the way down into the deep south in places like Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. We've talked about how this particular pattern certainly can produce some extreme cold. It can produce some penetrating cold all the way down into those southern states, and indeed that in turn can lead to the possibility of snowfall. In this particular case, it looks like at the end of the upcoming week. Now, that prior map was from the 0Z run of the GFS, and this is a map of the total freezing rain expected from this system. This posting, this particular map is out there on ArcfieldWeather.com. I posted about this upcoming storm system, so please refer to the homepage on the ArcfieldWeather.com site, and you can see all the text associated with these particular maps, showing some significant icing here across the middle Mississippi Valley region. Again, this upcoming winter storm could produce as much as a quarter-inch of accumulated ice, and that certainly has the possibility of bringing down some tree limbs and maybe some trees in the middle Mississippi Valley region, for example, and really extending all the way into the Ohio Valley and Mid-Atlantic region. So not only are we going to see significant snowfall, in some places more than a foot of snow, and by the way, there'll be blizzard conditions in parts of the Central Plains associated with this system, with very, very strong winds developing on Sunday and Sunday night. But this can lead to some power outages with this upcoming storm system. Well, let's walk through some forecast maps here using the 0Z run of the GFS. One of the things I will be looking at for this particular storm system by the time it reaches the Mid-Atlantic region is where mesoscale or small scale heavy snow bands can set up. Typically, a winter storm system in the Mid-Atlantic region can have some isolated heavy snow bands, and that's really a tricky part of the forecast when it comes to snowfall amounts, is where will these intense snow bands set up. One of the fields of interest with respect to that is what we call frontogenesis, or areas in the upper part of the atmosphere where there's kind of a contrast of temperatures, basically like an upper level frontal system. And this particular product here, this is a frontogenesis map here, can give us a clue as to where these heavy snow bands may form. And so we'll walk through, beginning with the current time period here on Saturday morning, and then we'll move ahead into the storm system itself. You notice out here by Sunday night, we're starting to see this area out here in the Ohio Valley here. This is what we call an area of frontogenesis right here, and this is a Sunday evening forecast map. Now, let's move ahead here, and we'll see where this may set up. Right here is kind of an area of interest here on a midday on a Monday. We're seeing the strong frontogenesis extending from southwestern PA out across the DC metro region, Delmarva Peninsula, southern part of New Jersey. This is kind of giving us a clue that this may be the area where some of these intense snow bands form late morning, midday, afternoon on Monday. Basically that area between, let's say, DC and Philadelphia. And New York City, north and east of there as well, will have minimal impact from this particular storm system, it appears, because of a very dry and cold air mass that will be entrenched across the northeastern part of the nation, all anchored by strong high pressure to the north. That will kind of inhibit the northward and eastward movement of this precipitation field when we get to the day on Monday. So New York City, much less impact than DC, for example. Even Philadelphia, much more impact than New York City. So this is an area of interest here, what we call frontogenesis. And it may be the area right in that part of the Mid-Atlantic region where these heavy snow bands form during the upcoming storm. Well, another interesting product I wanted to show here from NOAA's GFS model run, the 0Z, is the upper level jet streak. This is specifically at what we call 250 millibars, way up in the top of the atmosphere. And I've mentioned that this cold pattern, with a lot of colder than normal weather conditions for the central and eastern states over the bulk of the month of January, will also be an active pattern here. And this is something like a field that I like to look at, the 250 millibar wind field, or what we call the jet streaks, the strongest winds in the upper part of the atmosphere. And during a typical La Nina winter, and we are in a La Nina winter right now with colder than normal sea surface water temperatures out across the equatorial part of the Pacific Ocean, you don't often have an active southern branch of the jet stream. That is more common with El Nino type winters. However, all signs point to me that we will have quite an active southern branch of the jet stream here over the next few weeks to go along with this colder than normal weather pattern, and that should result in multiple storm threats, including one beyond this Sunday-Monday storm threat late in the week, Friday, Saturday time frame, and way down in the deep south. Let's move forward here with some of these plots here, and this is Sunday and then going into Monday. And again, we're looking at the upper level jet streak, and here is a strong jet streak right here over the northeastern part of the nation here as we begin the day on Monday. We'll go out a little bit farther in time and watch this jet streak extend down into the Mid-Atlantic region. That will contribute to the upward motion in the Mid-Atlantic region during the day on Monday. Then we move forward here into the midweek and into the late week. Here's Wednesday, and by the time we get to Thursday morning, take a look at this, what is certainly can be called an active southern branch of the jet stream right here here, and this is going to help play a role in the development of a surface low pressure system here over the northwestern Gulf. It looks like by the end of the upcoming week, we're talking again Friday, Saturday time frame, January 10th, January 11th. So bottom line here, I wanted to point out, I certainly see an active southern branch of the jet stream, meaning we will probably be dealing with multiple storm threats for the next few weeks. Well, one of the interesting aspects with this upcoming storm system is what I call cold conveyor belt snow that looks like it will form in the northwest sector of this storm system in the mid-Atlantic region late Monday night time frame. Sometimes this back end snow is referred to as wraparound snow or backlash snow, and the technical phrasing of it is cold conveyor belt snow. These are a couple of graphical representations, and again we have the link here to a Penn State website that describes this cold conveyor belt process. Basically it helps to form that comma shape that is pretty common with fully mature mid-latitude winter cyclones that comma head to the north and west in the cold sector of the storm system. And what you tend to do is you get air that is cool, moist air on the north side of a warm front that is transported to the west and lifted along that path, producing some heavy snow potentially to the north and west of the surface low. Again, this is not the location of this upcoming storm system. This is just a generic representation of this cold conveyor belt process. But we'll see in the surface forecast maps in a moment here, and I'll highlight it here, that I do believe there will be a period of this cold conveyor belt or wraparound snow in places like D.C., the Delmarva, maybe all the way into Philadelphia, late Monday night time frame, and it really will act to prolong this storm system where the precipitation shield can reach the I-95 corridor region late Sunday night, early Monday. That precipitation can continue all the way into Monday night in parts of the region, and again it's because of this wraparound snow, or this what I call cold conveyor belt type snow. So we'll point that out here in a moment here with the surface forecast maps. Well, let's walk through the surface forecast maps from last night's zero-Z GFS model run. First of all, tight pressure gradient across the northeastern states, a strong northwest flow of air. We have a lot of lake effect snow. In fact, there's been a very impressive snow squall that hit central Pennsylvania, places like State College over the last few hours, one of the strongest in many winters, producing as much as 2, 3, 4 inches in a short period of time. Some of that snow shower activity can actually make its way across the Appalachians into the southeastern part of Pennsylvania over the next few hours here. Now, yesterday we had a burst of snow. That was really the first of these two snow events for the Mid-Atlantic region. There was some thunder and lightning, for example, in some of the suburbs of D.C. with a quick coating to an inch or two. To the west, for example, in Springfield, Virginia, all the way up to southeastern Pennsylvania. Late Friday afternoon, there was a burst of snow that caused a quick coating to an inch or so. And again, this is a very active weather pattern here. Not only do we have this major winter storm system coming Sunday into Monday, but again, a threat for the end of next week. So let's move forward in time here, and we'll move into the day on Sunday. And here we go. By Sunday morning, here is the beginning, that major winter storm starting to take shape. You notice a lot of colors here, and that's always kind of not a good sign, because that means ice is getting involved here, and indeed ice will become a major factor here, as well as the substantial snowfall. The blues here, where the snow is occurring here, and again I noted earlier that there will be some blizzard conditions here. Notice this pressure gradient between this very strong high and the intensifying low down here. Tight isobar pattern here. This is going to result in some blizzard conditions here with very strong winds along with the heavy snow out across the central plains, for example. The purple representing sleet, the a reddish area here representing some freezing rain. Again, unfortunately, this very well could end up resulting in some power outages across places like the Middle Mississippi Valley region, where there can be an accumulation of ice on trees as much as a quarter-inch during this upcoming event. Now, one other aspect I want to mention here: this winter storm will also enhance the chance for some severe weather later tomorrow into tomorrow night in the warm sector on the south side of this low pressure area. So you have very, very strong winds here blowing some heavy snow around to the north and west. In the cold sector, you have a band of ice to the south. Possibility of some severe weather later tomorrow into tomorrow night. So again, a very impactful storm system here. Now, let's move forward in time here into later on tomorrow night. Notice at this particular time the snow has just reached the DC metro region. Looks like it'll reach that area somewhere, give or take a couple hours, around the midnight hours, Sunday night going into early Monday morning. Continues to move to the north and east at this particular time. Here we go into the morning hours on Monday. It certainly looks like this storm will be quite impactful for the morning commute in DC, and even in Philadelphia. Looks like the snow will have begun by the time we get to the Monday morning commute, and that system, which originates tomorrow out over the Central Plains, moves basically west to east into the Ohio Valley by early Monday morning. Now, notice also some purple moving in on the doorstep of DC. I do believe sleet can certainly play a role in the weather on Monday in DC, especially in the southern half of the district. And anytime you're dealing with sleet, that can have an impact on total snowfall amounts here. Sleet can actually also affect Delmarva Peninsula, maybe southern New Jersey, maybe even into the southern portions of the Philly metro region. We'll have to watch for that, but expect some sleet into the DC metro area. Now, here we go into the midday on Monday. Snow has advanced into east central Pennsylvania, maybe central New Jersey, and again with that very dry and cold air entrenched across the northeastern states, all backed up by, all supported by strong high pressure to the north that extends from central Canada and southeastern Canada. There will be a sharp cutoff to the north and east of Philadelphia of snowfall amounts. And again, we mentioned earlier that New York City will have kind of minimal impact from this upcoming storm system, certainly compared to DC and even Philadelphia. So this is about the farthest north and east that the snow shield may penetrate here. Now, let's go out a little bit farther in time, and this is the time frame here, early Monday evening, where what I call conveyor belt type snow or wraparound snow, backlash type snow will really take hold here in the northwest sector of this storm system. All of this is snow here, the surface low at this particular time out over the open waters of the western Atlantic off the mid-Atlantic coastline, and basically have counterclockwise flow of air around low pressure areas. And this is that cool, moist air that will be transported westward into that cold sector to the north and west of the low pressure area, that cold conveyor belt, pushing that warm, that cool, moist air up and over the cold air that's entrenched by this particular time. And again, this kind of backlash snow can be significant. Expect accumulating snow places like DC, southern New Jersey, Delmarva Peninsula, maybe even into the Philly metro region late Monday night. Sometimes that back-end snow is more impactful than front-end snow, and we'll have to watch for that. But again, this is kind of a classic setup here that sometimes occurs with west to east moving storm systems. You get that comma-shaped appearance to the clouds and even to the precipitation field with that snow, that important snow, in the north and west sector of the storm system. Now, let's move forward in time here, and you're seeing snow all the way into the overnight hours into early Tuesday. This cold conveyor belt snow on the backside, even though that low at this particular time is well out off the coast here. This is still accumulating snow here at this particular time, midnight on Monday going into early Tuesday. We'll go finally to Tuesday morning. That storm is done. We have a strong north to northwest flow on the backside, and this will help to push some cold air way down into the deep side, into the deep south here over the middle part of next week. Now, let's move forward in time here. And again, we've talked about this pattern will have the capability of producing snow all the way down into the deep south. Here we are, Thursday night time frame. Notice low pressure starting to form here over the northwest Gulf. That's much farther to the south than this initial storm system that forms basically on Sunday out over the central plains. You have this way down to the deep south at the end of the week here. And here we go, some snow breaking out across Texas. And that storm system can ultimately move to the north and east. This is the Friday night forecast map. Now, this is still way out there. We'll focus in on this threat during the upcoming week. But I just wanted to point out that, yes, we have an active weather pattern. Yes, we have a pattern that can produce some snow all the way down into the deep south. Ultimately, that system could produce more snow up across the mid-Atlantic region. This is a Saturday morning, January 11th forecast map. Still speculation phase, but it's certainly something that's on the table, including the threat of some snow across Texas and maybe Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia at the end of the upcoming week. So a lot going on here. We have a cold and active weather pattern that will continue for a sustained period of time here. Again, it may be prolonged by an ongoing stratospheric warming event, not only into the latter part of January, but perhaps into February as well. This next storm system, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday storm system, will be a major winter storm with a wide range of impact, including significant snow, including significant icing, all the way from the central plains to the mid-Atlantic region. Now, in terms of snowfall estimates, and these are preliminary, so please stay tuned to arcfieldweather.com, in the mid-Atlantic region, I'm thinking only a coating to an inch or two in New York City. Again, they will be in that dry air mass and will avoid any significant impact from this Sunday, Monday storm system. Philadelphia, I'm thinking right now 3 to 6 inches, with the higher end of that range 6 inches on the south and west side of the Philly metro area, and the lower amounts on the north and east side. In other words, southern Chester County, for example, Delaware County should get more snow in this particular storm system than Bucks County. D.C., I'm thinking right now 5 to as much as 10 inches of snow, with those higher end amounts on the northeast side of the district, places like Montgomery County, Howard County, with the lower end down across southwest of the district, places like Fairfax County in Virginia. Now, sleet can definitely play a role in the weather outlook for Monday in D.C., maybe across Delmarva and southern New Jersey, perhaps even into the southern part of the Philly metro region. And anytime you're dealing with sleet, that can have an impact on snowfall estimates. Also, the current location, the expected location of that heaviest precipitation band could shift a little bit to the north, could shift a little bit to the south over the next 12, 24, 36 hours or so, and that can obviously have a big impact on snowfall estimates in the I-95 corridor region of the Mid-Atlantic region. So a lot going on here in the world of weather. Please stay tuned to arcfieldweather.com over the next several days here as we have an active weather pattern for the next few weeks. That's it for now. For arcfieldweather.com, this has been meteorologist Paul Dorian.